What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family, bringing you guys the latest update on the Dallas Cowboys. Give us just a second while we check our audio. We'll be right with you guys in just a second here.
Thank you to all our subscribers who made the 1,000 and Super Chat possible. Thank you all, guys. You see the leaderboard above, many shout-outs below, which we replace next week by the winner above, along with maybe a little extra special goodie.
It looks like we sound all right, but unfortunately, YouTube did not send out notifications, it doesn't look like. So if you are joining us here, it's because you are the winner chicken dinner. So we'll go ahead and give you guys just a second here to join us. But guys, we do have quite a bit of Cowboy news. Oh, there it is.
Just got the notification. So
there you go. Day late and $1 short, YouTube.
Probably get some people coming on now. But yeah, go ahead, baby. Go ahead, start off because other people will see it in the replay.
Well, no. So guys, thank you so much for joining us here. Just to give you guys a general update, Little G unfortunately is still sick, guys. He has the flu, so he has been home, not feeling too great. One of the reasons for this late night stream. Eagles 01, thanks for joining us. King Star Vids, Lionel Messi, thanks for joining us. You never know, guys. You never know. Yeah. No, it's not over till it's over. Let me see. It was a catch by Jesse James. Taliban, according to the rules,
if that's the case, then so was Dez's catch.
So it is what it is. It sucks, but it is what it is. So DJ Crown J, thanks for joining us. How are you doing
DJ
tonight?
In the house. Our leading weekly Super Chat leaderboard right now.
That's right.
Crushing it. Thank you so much for joining us and for the donations. Jesus Nunez, what's up, man? Eagle fan, leave this cowboy country. Listen, they love the hate. I've actually had a lot of experience today on Twitter. A lot of haters on there, so you can follow us, keep up with the chat there. But there's a couple people, officially rude. Yeah, but we don't have to play into that too much. It's just more of a back and forth and, expressing our opinions mainly on the playoff chances for the Cowboys. And they're slim, as Eagles 01 over says no playoffs, I mean, right now, currently Eagles are in, so congrats on that, I guess.
That's right.
Without Wentz, it's going to be rough riding, guys, to get to the Super Bowl. Space
Cowboy 17 said that Lyle got robbed of a Pro Bowl.
I agree. For what he's done against superstar, Pro Bowl opposition that he's faced the entire season, pretty much. I mean, look at the people he's faced. We talked about it last week. He's dominated everyone, and he played Khalil Mack. And Khalil Mack had a good game, but still, Collins, and he wasn't lined up on Collins on that, actually, on those plays. I think he was. I know he was on Tyron Smith for one big play he made. I think it was a sack on Dak. But he just, the plays that he did do were mainly on Tyron Smith's side. Or Byron Bell. Yeah. It was not with Lyle Collins. So Lyle Collins held his own again against Houston from Justin Houston from the Chiefs, against Vic Beasley from the Falcons, against the Eagle. Just against every team.
Again, a lot of guys. So and then Simmons family, thanks for joining us. And DJ Crown J, don't worry about it. We're just glad you're here joining us, listening in. And then King Star Vid says it's just a back and forth deal with those catches. Zero God Loading, thanks for joining us. Here tonight, Lionel Messi as well.
Hey, what's up, man?
So he says, what do you think about the Broncos? It's kind of unfortunate the way that your season is gone.
Yeah,
but,
they're out, aren't they? I mean, I think they're officially out. I mean,
do you think that they're going to look for a different quarterback at this point? I mean, it doesn't seem like any of the guys they keep trying to develop have worked out.
That's one of the things about them is that Paxton Lynch right now is, pretty much out for the season. I think they were going to bring him back, but they weren't sure if he was going to be able to make it back. I don't know. The Broncos are kind of in a rebuilding mode, in my opinion. Their defense definitely was good, but they lost some key pieces. I think that safety Ward, wasn't it? That guy we wanted to get TJ Ward, something like that. He went to the Bucks, I think.
And then Zero God Loading said, at least Aaron Rodgers can't break our hearts in the playoffs this year. That's right.
That's right.
A few less broken hearts this year. And then Billy Sarducci, thank you so much for that $5 super chat. He said, "What's up, y'all? Just dropping a little love.
Thank you, brother.
Hashtag My Cowboys Familia. Hashtag
much love,
Cowboys."
Man. Much love, Billy. I'm gonna move you up on the charts, I think, because I think you made a
Dilly
move. Dilly.
So no, thank you so much, Billy. Guys, we appreciate all the support for all you guys who are just here, watching, joining us, commenting, being part of our Cowboys family, and those, of course, who do support the channel financially, who help out that way. But guys, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, share the channel. That's the best way. And just being here, guys, joining our family. That's the best way you guys can help support. So thank you for joining us here tonight. Like I said earlier, Little G is unfortunately sick with the flu, so one of the reasons for this late night stream. But another reason, guys, is we know that some of you guys also can't always make it out to some of our earlier streams. We do
Correct.
want to give a chance for everyone to try to make some of our live streams throughout the week. So, you know, for the most part, we try to keep it somewhat consistent around the same time, but we do like to do at least a stream later in the week.
Yeah,
and
at least
later
one,
this week, we're going to be making a small change to our Madden Saturday stream. We'll keep you guys posted on that, so make sure to keep updated every single day with us.
The probability, it's going to be probably sometime in Friday afternoon, so probably a lesser volume of people. That's pretty much the only thing we could do, guys. We have some friends coming from out of town. We have, you know, the Christmas time here.
Yeah, with the holidays, guys, you know,
so we do have the whole family here.
Yeah,
we do have the whole family this, you know, for this upcoming weekend, so it's going to be a big, you know, holiday festive thing. Don't worry, guys. We're still going to go live every single day, at least once.
And we will also still be streaming the Cowboys game Christmas Eve, so have no worries about that, guys.
No worries.
Hopefully you guys will be joining us here as well, and that's right, Dilly, guys.
Dilly.
So,
Thank you, Billy.
Simon's 1974. It's pretty good to see a Dallas Cowboy defensive player not named Sean Lee make the Pro Bowl.
Boom.
So, Simon, that's a good point. It has been a while since we've seen that. And again, you have a great little factoid here where our 3 offensive linemen have, you know, so Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, and Zach Martin have all 3 made the Pro Bowl all together for 3 years in a row now?
4 years. 4 years, guys. 4th straight year.
I thought it was 3.
4th straight year, the trio of Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, and Zach Martin have made the Pro Bowl together, okay? And also, if you include, think about the 14 games, all right? 13 and a half sacks, all right? 13 and a half sacks in 14 games for a tank, D-Law, DeMarcus Lawrence. And now he made his first ever Super Bowl selection. You know, this is the first time. So fantastic for congratulations to the tank defensive player. You know, I do see. Usually, guys, there's gonna be alternates. So there's gonna be people like Sean Lee. Look for him to make it. Chris Jones as well. Love some Chris Jones out there.
And my personal favorite,
La'el Collins, guys. That's one everyone thinks out there should make it, and I think he might. So, oh wow, Space Cowboy out from the back.
Thank you so much, Space Cowboy, for the $30 super chat. He says Packers got sent to the pit of misery. Dilly.
Yes.
Subscribe to my Cowboys family and Space Cowboy 17 for more Cowboys content. Yes, guys. If you haven't already checked out Space Cowboy 17, he has some great content on his channel. You know, again, another one of those great Cowboy YouTubers, really putting out some good stuff out there. So make sure to check it out. And Cowboys Abroad, thanks for joining us here as well. Raptor Charged, what's up? Yeah, thank you so much, Space Cowboy 17.
Yeah, Space Cowboy has some good chats
here on the channel. You will be moving on up somewhere here on our leaderboard, guys. I mean, we actually have some good news. One of our ideas, one of our plans will hopefully be coming to fruition tonight.
Tonight.
We'll be able to
Big news.
have you guys updated and posted on that, which, you know, we have some pretty, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool stuff coming along the way, and just to show some appreciation for you guys who are here and supporting and helping out, and I think you guys will like it as well. So
yeah, it's a cool little thing.
Guys.
We're not gonna, you know, we'll probably talk about it tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But it's for, you know, weekly winners, maybe even for people that donate a certain amount. It's just a little cool little thing, a token of our appreciation, and also as well, guys, right below here, as you can see, the winner will always get their information, whatever they want on there, or scroll however they like it, about their channel, their business, whatever it is.
Exactly, whatever kind of thing you want to shout out, you know, whether it's, you know, save the pandas, okay?
Exactly.
We will save the pandas with you. Eagle fans, if you guys want us to put I
within
heart
reason,
Eagles,
I guess, you know, you don't want to, like, you know,
I mean,
be all racist or something.
Nothing. Okay, guys, you know, obviously we'll still keep it family friendly, but Eagle fans, you want us to put I love the Eagles, you know, we'll put that on there. We will sponsor the Eagles for a week for you guys. You know, it's all up to you, whatever it is. But, you know, thankfully so far it's all been, you know, good Cowboy fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, you guys are
just saying, I'm waiting for the troll to just come in, and then we're gonna have to, like, completely, like, green out our page, or, you know, like, giant our page. I don't see any Redskin fans.
I really hope. Sorry, guys. I'm fixing this leaderboard.
Sorry, guys.
Go ahead
no, Billy Sarducci, Merry Christmas to you and yours,
Merry
and to
Christmas.
you guys as well.
Happy
Very
holidays,
excited.
everything.
The kids are, you know, ready to open some presents, but, you know, Santa's still not here. So, 60 Trippy God, let's go Cowboys. Thanks for joining us. Let me see. Football Nerd wants to know, are we out if both Panthers and Falcons win next week?
That's a great, no, we're not.
No. I'll boy, thanks for joining us as well. Cowboys X Factor, thanks for joining us. Steve Scoggins, thanks for joining us. Steve in the house.
So, guys, let's go through some information here. I'm sorry, I've been
I'll answer one last question real quick, Simon. We are not planning on attending the draft, unfortunately. We have other plans this upcoming spring to travel We made these plans a long time ago.
But we are planning to be at the Pro Bowl, guys, during the Pro Bowl week as well. That's
if you guys are coming to the Pro Bowl or doing anything Pro Bowl related, make sure to come, shoot us a message, check us out, because we will be there. We'd love to meet up with you and catch up.
Yeah. And again, guys,
Santa Claus is here. Yay, Santa, bring the presents.
SCNL in the house. Listen, so that was the Pro Bowl, guys. Good catch on that, Simus. Let's see here. Just a little bit of NFL news before we really delve into Cowboy stuff. The appeals officer, James Thrash, jointly appointed by the NFL, NFLPA, reduced linebacker Thomas Davis from the Carolina Panthers, his 2-game suspension to 1 game. So that, I think, is at least appropriate.
More appropriate, because again,
compared to the Gronk thing. I don't think he did it on purpose. He should have definitely not done it, but he got 1 game.
Yeah, but I think 1 game is more realistic, and the punishment, I guess, has to fit the crime more or less. And I just felt that 2 games was excessive for what he did. If you only gave someone like Gronkowski or other cases, where Gronkowski was just the most recent, kind of the most violent recent one. So it sticks out in your mind more. Anyway, guys, got that reduced to 1 game.
Yeah. So, and another thing, guys, back to the Raiders game. I kind of want to end our Raider chat as far as that's concerned, and kind of move on to the Seattle Seahawks and our Cowboys too. But listen, the Raider game. So Jerry Jones kind of upset a little bit about with Jason Garrett about not going for it on 4th and goal on the half-yard line.
Half a yard.
Yeah. So when it was a minute 44 left, I mean, I think his explanation was, if you don't get it, the first thing was they have to go the whole length of the field, which was what we were saying too. The other thing he was saying is that, it's also half a yard. We have to try to get that. And if you get it, you have to force him to score a touchdown to tie it. So we got lucky. We got out of that game. But I agree with Jerry Jones on this one. I think we should have went for it. I think we have that offensive line. Even without Tyron Smith, you pound that ball in there for half a yard. Even if you take Dak in the middle and squeeze it in, however you do it, you do it. And everybody talks about that card and the whole thing. Guys, it would have been reviewed. It would have been challenged by the Dallas Cowboys, hopefully by Jason Garrett. Would have challenged the spot. And you would have seen it in multiple replays that Dak was over that 40-yard line hash, mark. That's what they were checking on, because it was the 40 they had to get to. And Dak, obviously, his arms were over it, even for a split second. And you can see that in multiple views in the camera.
There's
just
misplaced,
no way around bad placement on the ball.
Yeah.
And,
he even said he, did it more for the dramatics, the theatrics of it all. So, and you kind of see his smug little smile. Yeah, you kind of see his smug little smile when he walks away.
And that's the thing, too,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that card
So I can see why Raider fans are upset, because, honestly, if a ref did that, the other way around with that same kind of smug attitude, call it straight up and just say it was over and that's it. Spare us the heartache and the drama and the...
Well, speaking of that, that's what Jack Del Rio, coach of the Raiders, said. He goes... that he thinks that, and this is from earlier, that when Dak dove for it on that 4th down with the card, that whole card incident, which again would have been reviewed and it would have been placed probably even farther up over the 40, and it would have been easily a 1st down. But he said that the Cowboys made a mistake criticizing Jason Garrett, which we love to do, but we don't like when other people do it.
Yeah.
He said basically that the Cowboys made a big error going for it on 4th down. It was ballsy, but it really didn't work. They gave us the win because he says that we didn't get it.
Yeah,
and then he says, but then the official pulled the card out. I mean, basically.
Look, I understand being upset over the whole card thing or thinking it was the refs, but guys, you can pretty clearly see that he went over the, he got the 1st down. And I think it's dumb for him to say it's ballsy to go for it, because if you flip the tables and he was in that same field position in that same spot, and they were 4th and 1, or 4th and half a yard, or 4th and whatever it was, they would have gone for it.
We try to be non-biased, and you can see in the video that it's visual proof.
Yeah.
I mean, and at the most, the worst thing it could have been, they could have said, we can't see it. It's not indisputable, so it stays the way it is. That would have sucked.
The redheaded monster got to go. Nice one.
Still agree on that, yes.
Thanks for joining us here.
And again, now, Oakland... according to the players and fans, that they fell victims to some questionable calls, and I guess one of them was in the end zone when they scored, Jared Cook, and they called it when he pushed off of Sean Lee. If you guys recall that play, that was a touchdown. They called it, and then they ended up calling it back, and along with some people thinking, listen, I've seen Derek Carr's brother David on NFL Network literally say, somebody who played NFL quarterback saying on the NFL Network, defending his brother, but miserably, saying that they should change the rule because if the ball, if you guys remember back in the 70s, 60s or 70s, there was.
You guys, give me just 1 second. I'll be right back.
There was the Holy Roller. If you guys remember, I don't know if you do. It was the Raiders and Chargers, and I think it was a playoff game. I'm not even sure if it was a playoff game, but either way, I think it was a playoff game. And the Raider guy, Stabler, I think it was Ken Stabler, got sacked, fumbled the ball. Casper, I think, was a tight end. He kicked it into the end zone and fell in it in the end zone on the last play, and they won the game and beat the Chargers. Ever since that Holy Roller game, they changed the rule that you cannot advance a fumble unless the same person recovers it, or the defense recovers it, of course, then it's the defense's ball. But the offensive player cannot recover it, and then it'd be advanced. So what stupid ass David Carr said was that, and that's Derek Carr's brother on the NFL Network. He said this, that it shouldn't. He goes, I haven't got a response yet from the NFL, probably because you're stupid. But I haven't got a response yet in the NFL because why would it not be back to where the fumble occurred if nobody recovered it and it went out of bounds? Okay, if that was in the field of play, NFL quarterback and an analyst, then that would be yes, back to where the balls, back where the fumble occurred. But at the same time, if it was, for instance, it goes in the back of the end zone, it's called a touchback. That's the rule. And it's been like that forever, and it's not going to change. So what the hell are you talking about, Dave? David Carr? Who the heck are you anyways? You sucked. So get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to NFL rules, and I don't know. It kind of frustrated me to see somebody who's supposed to be an analyst and knows football sitting there, shamelessly defending his brother to an extent of embarrassment. Anyways, sorry, I went off the deep end there. Hit subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button for the stream. And make sure you hit the notification bell to get these, guys. So, Rabbit, how you doing, man? Cowboys should have lost the last game. In essence, they gave the game away. In a way, yes. In a way, Jerry Jones, Jack Del Rio is right in a way, but not on that play. I think the Cowboys gave the game away when it was a minute 44, and we kicked the field goal rather than going for it on fourth down. That's when the Cowboys kind of gave the game away, and then they got lucky to get it back. Zero God load. Let me see. X Factor says true. He's right. Cowboys were shot based on spot saves our season. Yeah, all that stuff is irrelevant. I think he got it anyway. Zero God loading. We should have lost on Sunday. Why Carr drove? Again, if Carr just goes out of bounds, they got a field goal. That's still, Let's see. Rabbit said the ref didn't call it. Raiders would have scored 4 touchdowns. Cowboys gave up some points there, left them on the board throughout that game, especially in the first half. Football Nerd says, I smell some salty Raider fans in here. Listen, I know we're salty Cowboy fans sometimes, and, we got to deal with it. But, yes, some Raider fans got to deal with the fact that, it just didn't go their way. But in reality, if you look at the video, these things did play out this way. It's unfortunate. And, again, it's happened to the Cowboys, and it's happened mainly against the Cowboys throughout my life. So I understand the pain. But in the end, you realize that I can't get mad at the Packers because the refs made a bad call, or I felt it was a bad call in that playoff game when he bobbled the catch, and he caught it and then went for the end zone and then bobbled it into the end zone, kind of like the Jesse James play. So, but again, I'm sure a lot of Pittsburgh fans were like, "Ha, those Cowboys," and now they're saying, "Oh well, yeah, those Cowboys were right, maybe, but please cheer for us too. Now you're screwed." So let's see here, man. There's no bribing, man. I doubt it. If anything, NFL's been going after the Cowboys with no holding calls. I think yesterday was our first official accepted holding call in like 10 games. Let's see. Derek Carr became his brother, Space Cowboy says. Derek Carr became his brother. I know. I'm just saying, David Carr doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to football rules. Defending his brother like that is embarrassing. Cowboys X Factor says, how do you and Cowboys optimism for Cowboys making playoffs? Well, first and foremost is about them, okay? So I think that, the Cowboys can make it. Optimism is even though here it sounds like we're like overdoing it, guys, trust me, we're grounded. We know it's still a long ways to go. And listen, as long as we win our game, even if these other things don't happen, which we'll talk about very, very soon, we will be fine for the final week. But I would say as far as fine as having a chance, probably like a 33% chance. But that's probably the best we got if nothing goes right for us this weekend except for us winning. So let's see here, guys. Let's see. Let me see. If that was us with Dak fumbling, the rules, we want the rule changes. Nah, I don't think so. That's a rule that we know of. There's no reason why we want to change that rule. That's a known rule. I've seen it happen multiple times. And it happened against Cowboys in the Super Bowl, guys. Leon Lett was running it back for the touchdown. And what happened? BB, if you guys remember. Speedy guy down the field. It's Leon Let's holding the ball out, like extended out, pointing out, and BB knocks it down. Where does it go? It doesn't go out of bounds in this field of play. It goes out of bounds in the back of the end zone, the side of the end zone, just cut like the Derek Carr play. And it's called a touchback. And the Cowboys didn't get the record-breaking points in a game in the Super Bowl because of that half a yard. And it went into the end zone. So there you go, man. It's over. So let's see here. Rabbit, I love the Cowboys and all, but imagine the Eagles. I mean, listen, I just wish. I wish it was like that in the playoffs. Somehow I wish we can just claw away somehow into the playoffs and claw away to play against the Eagles and let them try to knock us out when we have full team going. Let's just see what happens. I would love to see that. Now, I'm not talking about January when we play them at the end of the season or New Year's, whatever. I'm talking about in the playoffs. I want to see them there. Tommy Boy knows football. Haha, could not win more than 4 games. Exactly. Cowboys forever says, forever champions. What's up, man? He says, it happened to Leon. Exactly. There you go. Boom. Thank you. It's a rule forever. David Carr's an idiot. Derek Carr just made a mistake, and it happens. It happened to Romo. It happened to a lot of quarterbacks. It happens to all of them. But it happened to him now, and it happened. Luckily, it saved our season for now. For all for naught, maybe, guys. Remember, in the end, if we lose a game or if these other things don't work out and something has to work out, if not this week, next week. And if it doesn't, we're out, no matter how many games we win. So, but in the end, you got to win them out, guys. It's about this season / next season. As far as the optimism, I mean, I'm optimistic we have a chance. So that's why we're here cheering them on. But I think that, I'm optimistic about next season and really focusing on what we're going to have when we have a full and healthy team. We have, some re-signees and some important, re-signees. And then we're going to have some new guys coming in, some rookies. I like where we're going, guys. I like it. And we're going to have Zeke in there, and we're going to have our offensive line for the most part, and we're going to be good to go. So let's see. How is Tyron Smith? Speaking of, let me go right to that, guys. Thank you for that. And everybody, Seth, how you doing? Everybody out there, man, thank you for joining us. Much love, and go Cowboys. Now, here we go, guys. Let's see. By the way, as you can see here above me, and who was it? Space Cowboy. I think he's way moved up on the leaderboard. I think he's second now. So great job, Space Cowboy. You are the man. Thank you for donating. And also, Billy Sarducci, thank you for donating today. Much appreciated, man. That super chat, 1,000 subscribers. I have a feeling that fiance is going to surprise me with a surprise us, but using the donations we get from here to get a green screen, maybe make some really cool background stuff. I'm working with with the visual arts here on, so we'll see what we can get. Now, Tyron Smith, guys, let's see. There's not really much news. It's kind of worrisome for me, but Jerry Jones has told him today that on 103 The Fan, 105.3 The Fan said that Tyron Smith's MRI did not look as bad as it could have been. That basically he's questionable. They'll give him a look as the week goes by. Jerry Jones thinks Anthony Hitchens, our linebacker, who we really need back as well, will play against Seattle. So that's Jerry Jones speaking. That's without practice. That's without knowing what's going on. So a lot to go.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Quick family phone call. I guess the rest of the Cowboys family says hi.
So yes, guys. So that's the deal with Tyron Smith, and the MRI, just basically the gist of it, not as bad as it could have been. I know they said no, it's no ACL tear or not even a partial, nothing with the ACL. Just didn't look as bad as it could have been. I guess maybe some kind of. They're
not really saying what
strain
it.
Right,
is
right, so, but it's not a tear. It's not anything serious.
It's a good thing that it doesn't look as bad, but it's still not a good thing that they're not saying exactly what it is.
Yeah. So that's a little worrisome.
Shady
as far as the other guys, Dan Bailey, we don't know. He seems fine. We watched it again, and you see his head get cracked against the ground on regular play. Man, I mean, he took a big hard hit, concussion style. So he was good enough to come back. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think it was serious enough that he had like an actual concussion or whatever. Right. But again, it just kind of. Yeah, maybe dazed him for a bit. And also, I heard Ben Samayoa, guys, he also has a back injury from that game. If you recall, he got injured. What I heard today is that he is also injured. We're going to see how the week goes by, but we're going to see more Taco, I guess. That's the thing. He didn't look bad. He got a 2 or 3 pressures in there, so he was close to getting him, but they couldn't get a sack this game, the Cowboys. And also, guys. And Ancient Brooks, thanks for joining us. He wants to know, can I be in the special shout-outs as well?
Ancient Brooks, we got to put you in there. Yeah, I'm going to throw you in there.
We're definitely going to have to add you on here, so make sure to come back tomorrow. We'll definitely make sure to add that. We'll make we got stuff here. Don't worry, guys. We're taking notes. We're making a note right here. So thank you so much, Ancient Brooks, for being here. Rabbit said, hey, can you explain to me about the football touching a piece of paper? I've never seen that. Okay, so long story short, the referee already knew, that it was a first down because he visually could see it. He just kind of used the no card for more dramatic effect to kind of more visually extra confirm it. But he had already, he already knew, he could clearly tell it was a first down. So it really was just for the drama. Unfortunately, now no cards will live forever in infamy. And what is now known as, I guess, a Papergate. I'm not sure what they're calling it.
That's been the new
Space
word now,
Cowboy 17,
Papergate.
if you actually do that, I want to see pictures. You need to, or make a video or something. Because if
Ancient
someone
Brooks,
actually gets a Jeff Heath jersey and frames a note card, that would be hilarious.
That'd be awesome. By
Zero
the way,
God Loading said, depends. Carr could have went out of bounds and gotten the field goal. Depends on the coin toss.
And
I think we won the coin toss.
We did win the coin toss.
So it doesn't matter. We imposed our will, guys.
Hey, by throwing an interception the first drive. Ancient Brooks, you're back on. So thank you. And guys, and thank all the weekly super chat subscribers, donators. Thank you guys for everything you give to the channel, whether it's for our effort. We appreciate it. Your appreciation. Thank you so much. And or for trying to get the promotion that we set up every week for you guys.
Or for just our beautiful faces.
Yes, there are some for all you guys that have donated so far. There is we have special things we are sending out. Soon. We're still waiting to get it in the mail, but we're going to announce it later. Today should be the confirmation of it. So. It's something small but nice. I think you guys would like it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, guys. If you donate a certain amount, you get one. So there you go.
And then Zero God Loading. Sherman is out for the rest of the year, I believe, right?
Richard Sherman's done for the year.
So
3 guys. Avrill's done for the year. Cam Chancellor's done for the year.
No,
when it comes to those 3 guys on defense, those are 3 big names. I think Averill, is his name, linebacker. And the 2 defensive backs, Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor, who's a monster back there. I mean, Chancellor's a great player. I want to finish up with the Raiders, though, real quick by saying that, Chris Jones was the only one who knew that he would be doing the fake punt. I just want to confirm that because some people said it was Garrett. Some people said it was the coach, the special teams coach. Some people said it was just him. Some people said it was the whole team.
Just Chris Jones, guys. And you can watch the play again. You can see, the Cowboys block like they're blocking for a punt.
And the thing is, the Raiders formation, and Chris Jones noticed this, that they did not have a full blocking scheme or anybody watching up front to see if it would be a fake. They had 2 guys back for a punt return. So they had 2 guys on the outside for the block. And so they're very thin in the middle. There was only like 5 or 6 guys there.
And realistically speaking, on a 4th and 16 in their field position and where they were at, would you ever expect it?
Never.
And it's a heck no. Like, no. And Chris Jones knew it. He saw it. He read it. And then again, he felt it because you saw the split-second decision between him getting the ball and deciding to run with it when he saw the hole open up because he still had time to punt the ball. And, and then you see it. And then
it just opens up and he just zooms through there.
That's not just good, obviously football skills, but that's good football knowledge, guys.
Yeah.
That shows that Chris Jones does, his football homework. So again, major props to you. I'm upset he's not already a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, maybe he'll be an alternate.
I know there's still time, but still.
So and also, guys, just to end it about the whole thing with the drama with the card and that play that we talked about where
Rabbit said the ref had a smirk on his face like he's sneaky. Yeah.
We remember that play along with the other one where Jared Cook was his name, the one who killed us the Packers last year in the playoff game. He was number 87 and he pushed off Sean Lee in the end zone and caught a touchdown, and they called it an offensive interference. So based on those 2 plays, T.J. Carey, he's the cornerback for the Raiders, sent out a tweet saying how we get finessed in our own, he didn't even say on, in our own stadium, but he said it's supposed to be in our own stadium by the refs yesterday several times. That's crazy. Maybe it was because we played
#America's team.
America's team. What a cop out, guys. What a way to it's a conspiracy against your Raiders.
I'm going to be 100% honest though. Had it been the other way around and we were the team on the other end of that,
I think we would have been.
I know we would have seen it.
We got lucky on the placement.
I know, but let's be real, guys. We still would be a little bit salty. We would have been a little salty. We would have been a little upset, a little bit like
maybe.
Even though it was legitimate, the fact that it came down to that stupid no card, I would have still been bothered by that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Just on principle alone. So I'm just gonna be real, guys. So any Raider fans out there, I feel your pain, but I still don't care.
As we leave the Raiders discussion, there's one thing connecting the Raiders and the Cowboys, and that's Darren McFadden. There was a big thing that came out today that McFadden is suing his agent. He's a family friend. His name is Michael Vick, not the one that we know from the NFL that's the killed dogs and stuff like that and abused them. This is his agent, a friend that basically. He misappropriated the money, like $3 million.
Yeah, so McFadden gave him $3 million to invest in certain, investments like Bitcoin, other things. And instead of investing it, he took the money. Yeah, you know how much he would have if the guy would have invested the money like Darren McFadden said he would? He would have $237 million, McFadden. Forget football. You retire whenever you want. Into $237 million, and that's what he lost. That's what he basically... Because this guy pocketed the money instead. Exactly. And this was early on in his career, and guys remember Bitcoin, has obviously very much grown recently, so... that's a little side note. Lost a lot of money there. Our mutual friend, Raiders and Cowboys can agree. McFadden, played well as he could when he wasn't injured. But speaking of injuries, in the Seattle game now that we leave the Raiders behind and move to the big Seattle Seahawks game coming up this weekend with Zeke making his debut from his six-game suspension on Christmas Eve, guys. That's right. What a better chance to have a gift like this, to be able to have Zeke back. Hopefully, we'll see if we get any other blue bow. Yeah, exactly. But hopefully we get back a couple other big players like Hitchens and Tyron Smith and David Irving. Those three guys are the ones we want back. Now, Seattle, I will say, they've been pretty banged up this year. They lost a lot of their defense to big injuries. Like we said, Richard Sherman's not going to be playing. But there's a few guys that are unfortunately looking probable to come back this week that were injured. So, aside from Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, and Averill, I think the linebacker. Cliff Averill, he's out. So but these are Pro Bowlers, guys. These are fantastic players. After playing without KJ Wright this past Sunday, KJ Wright's the linebacker. He's a Pro Bowl linebacker for the Seattle Seahawks. Basically, they're saying right now, the coach is saying, Carroll is saying that he should be fine. So he's going to probably end up playing, is what that's looking like. The other linebacker, Bobby Wagner, did not play Sunday. This was because of a hamstring injury. All right, but Pete Carroll also said that while they pulled him early from this past game, and he's no worse off than last week. He'll be limited this week in practice. We'll see what happens. So he's a question mark to play. Depending on what happens on the 2 injury reports, I might have to stick him in the game in our preview game on Friday afternoon. Seahawks also are hoping to get back defensive tackle Nazir Jones. All right, he's their starter, I think, and he's back following a 3-week game absence due to an ankle injury. Not saying he's 100% yet, but he's going to be back. And he's just saying it's about that time as far as he's concerned. He was getting closer, and he's done some running, so he's getting close. It depends how he responds this week at work. So it really depends on how he's going to progress this week as well. So Nazir Jones, Bobby Wagner, those are question marks right now. Looks like the other guy's in, though. And then running back Chris Carson, who's been on the injury reserve, he has a chance to return. Not really a big player on the team. Just wanted to throw that in. As we progress throughout the week, guys, tomorrow is the first injury report, the first practice for both teams. Yeah, we'll get a more clear picture of where these guys actually stand. And as the week continues to go on, that picture will hopefully become clearer and clearer. We'll let you guys know who will be in, who will be out, what the Seattle Seahawks will actually look like on game day. Yeah, and the last little bit of information, guys, before we talk more with you guys here and delve into a little more discussion with you guys, I want to talk about Zeke. And we all know about Zeke coming back and all that. And of course, we're going to talk about the playoffs, too. That's the other thing I want to talk about. But that'll lead into the discussion. Zeke, guys, with 8 games this season with Zeke, our rushing yards per game, 148.1. We're ranked second in the NFL. And we have 11 rushing touchdowns with Zeke in the starting lineup. Okay, we had some bad games as well. Without Ezekiel Elliott, and that's 6 games, okay, we have rushing yards per game are down from 148 to 121. So that's a good chunk. Yeah. But NFL we're ranked 10th. Not bad. Yeah, again, obviously not second, but right. And we were missing linemen throughout those 6 games. Even this last game, we were missing Tyron Smith, basically. That's right, for half the game. And also, instead of 11 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns. So, again, not a big drop-off. I'm saying considering we didn't really run as much as I think we should have or could have in these games. So that's an interesting stat there, even though it's better with Zeke. It's not tremendously better. I do think, though, Zeke is on a mission. And this will be a difference maker, not just this year, but from here on. Yeah. Zeke has 783 rushing yards currently. And we would love nothing more for him, at least to get 1,000 this year. What do you guys think as far as him getting 1,000? He did make a little bet with Eric Dickerson, that he would get 200 rushing yards against Seattle. And I think what's the number that he needs, baby, to get
he needs,
over 1,000?
He needs 217 to get to 1,000.
Okay.
And he needs that means 108.5, 108.5.
Yeah, so 109 every
109. If he gets 109 every game, he gets 1,001 yards.
Now let us know, guys. Do you think it's possible for Zeke to get 109 or 110 yards basically against Seattle and against the Eagles in these last 2 weeks?
I think so.
I think that's more than possible. I think it's
likely.
I think it should be.
He might get all of them this week.
He might get 40 carries against the Seahawks.
I know. They said that the tank said that he looks like he can run 80 carries out there, he said. So I mean, my point is I expect him to get 30 to 40 carries this week. If Jason Garrett is smart, use him wisely. He's fresh, he's stronger than ever. Run the damn ball, and I think nobody stops us. Honestly speaking, I think not the Eagles, even with Wentz. I don't think anybody stops us if we control the game running the ball with Zeke. And Zeke is on a mission, so he's better. He was great, but I think he's going to be greater than you've ever seen. Not just this year again. I'm going to say it again. Not this year, but next year, guys, and from here on out. I really do think he's on a mission. This is one good thing that came out of this whole debacle by the NFL and their BS.
Now, Justin Kroll, thanks for joining us. Santa Claus said Aaron Rodgers is out for the rest of 2017.
Correct.
And Zero God Loading said mission stop Russell Wilson. Cowboys X Factor, thanks for joining us as well. Former Cowboy Webb to Browns, feel bad for him. And then Dallas Cowboy Football News, what's up? Thanks for joining us here as well. And then would Brett Hundley be able to beat the Lions, said Buddy Johnson. And Goodfellas 21F said opinion on the Falcons the last 2 games. So let me see.
Falcons. Okay, so here we go, playoff style, guys. Let's do this. All right, so as we know, generally speaking, the Cowboys have to win the last 2 games. That's without question. We want to get to control our own destiny. I had this big discussion last night with some other YouTubers, and basically the way we control our own destiny, and we'll go into that in a minute. It's very outlandish, a long shot situation, but you never know. And if it happens, guys, it'll be no better Christmas gift than that, a Christmas Eve present than that, other than us winning and then winning the games. But the thing is that there's still a chance. So basically, the general situation is this: we have to win both games. The Lions have to lose. The Detroit Lions have to lose one of their last 2 games, and at least one NFC South team, one of these 3 NFC South teams, Carolina, New Orleans, or Atlanta, have to lose 2 out of the last 2 games. So have to lose out at least one of those 2. A lot of these teams play each other, so this is where it becomes like we kind of have to wait and see who wins. But no matter what happens, because Atlanta plays at New Orleans this weekend, the Cowboys cannot, unless we lose, we cannot be out of the playoffs chances. In fact, we still have a decent chance, probably a 33% chance on the final week of the NFL season if we win. And New Orleans. I mean, look, New Orleans winning is going to help us tremendously if they can beat Atlanta. That's number one. Cincinnati beating Detroit at home. Cincinnati will be at home. Beating Detroit is the other game we need. If that occurs, and these are all 1 o'clock games, keep this in mind, guys. If the Cincinnati game is an upset and they can somehow get some defense, get some cheering for their coach, and that's going to be going to the front office, and get a win in there, maybe against a rusty outdoors of the Lions. Matthew Stafford still got a little bit of an injured hand. We'll see. I don't know. I'm hoping, guys. I'm grasping at straws here. But if Cincinnati can do it, that would be a huge win for us there on that side of things. And then the biggest one, I think, is the biggest upset would be Tampa Bay upsetting the Carolina Panthers. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, no.
But if it does, if those 3 things happen at the 1 o'clock games or whatever time, 10, 11, 12, or 1 o'clock games, that's whatever your time zone is. When we play our game, which would be the later game, we will have control of our own destiny if those 3 things happen. That's a fact. So and the reason that is because so Detroit would lose one of the games, obviously, would be Cincinnati, let's say. And then you have to have Atlanta, Carolina, or New Orleans lose the last 2 games. If Carolina loses one of their games this week, which is Tampa Bay, and Atlanta loses their game against New Orleans, it has to be specifically Atlanta. They play each other the final week, which means that's the second loss, no matter what. If it happens a tie, we still get in. So the thing is that either way, we get in no matter what, because they are guaranteed the 5th seed, only the winner of that game. Well, we are guaranteed the 6th seed. That's only, again, if we control our own destiny and if we win against Seattle, those other 3 things happen and then we have to win out and we get in the playoffs as the 6th seed. But that's the long shot way. That's the long shot way of getting the destiny, control of our own destiny kind of situation breakdown, I guess.
That's right. So Peanut said, I think it's possible, but I'll be more confident in Tyron Smith is there. I agree. And Shallow Hal, thanks for joining us. Cowboys X Factor kind of said it. He might win our fantasy league. So, guys, Shallow Hal is in the running to be one of the winners.
Is he?
The victor, I think so. Is it one of his team?
I thought it was a Sixers JT, I thought it was. No?
Is it? I thought Shallow Hal was in there, too. Let me know, Shallow. Oh, he said he got robbed. Oh, I hope you don't mean... in real life.
No. In his game, yeah, he lost it. It was a close game. I know. I just looked at it real quick.
That's why. I'm sorry, man. I thought you really were in the running. And Dallas Cowboy Football News, thanks for always dropping in. He said it depends on it depends. The Seahawks locker room heard there's a huge issue there. If true, the team gave up. I mean,
never count a team out, though, especially a team like a veteran team like the Seahawks.
And not just that, but remember, even though they're out, they are still playing for one thing, and that's pride. And it really depends on the team. I think the Seahawks and the Cowboys are the two types of teams that aren't, they're not just going to lay down and take it because they gave up. They're fighting for status at least.
Yeah, I know.
So,
as Zero God says, I agree with him. That hopefully Andy Dalton and Drew Brees have amazing games on Sunday. It's possible. Jamal Wills says Cincinnati could help, but I think Green Bay could
shine in all their opponents' eyes.
If for some reason, let's say Carolina beats Tampa, which is expected.
Yeah.
Kind of puts Carolina out of the running. We have to have Carolina beat Atlanta the last week.
Which, again, that means that we want Atlanta to lose.
Correct, to New Orleans. But if Atlanta beats New Orleans, now, and Carolina wins, that's the worst case situation because now New Orleans will have to be the team that loses, and they'd have to lose to Tampa Bay.
And that's
again, our 5-week nemesis, this team here, keeps losing to every team we need them to beat. Not even one game they can get us right now. It's just one of these games.
So Tampa Bay not only took one of the guys we wanted to get, which was TJ Ward, if I'm not mistaken, but on top of that, now they're screwing the pooch when it comes to helping
these
a
close
homie
games
out.
are killing us, guys.
Get us in the playoffs.
All the games have been close, guys. They almost beat Detroit and Green Bay, and they lost in overtime, I think, those games. It's just crazy. And then they lost this one here, and they could have put into overtime. They could have had a fumble. Let's not talk about it. It's crazy. I'm almost treating it almost like a Cowboy game. It was bad, and I'm just glad the Cowboys are better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So let's see here. Shallow, you might be okay. Let me see here. Dallas Cowboy Football News says okay. Yeah, you said about that. Pumped Elliott says we will make it. Yes, I agree.
And Aegon Stark said there's a 6% chance of that happening. So the King of the North has spoken.
Of us getting at this point. Last week we were 4%, so that's an increase, right? Listen, I think that if we win out, our chances go up to like 33%, more or less. Meaning, or if it go not even win out. I'm sorry, if we get to if we win our game, and New Orleans wins, I think we go to a 33% chance to get into the playoffs, and that means we would have to have simply, and I do say simply, we have to win against Philly, and we have to have Atlanta lose against Carolina at Atlanta. If Detroit still hasn't lost their game, which is another big deal, again, as Jamal Wills says, Detroit would have to lose to Green Bay the last game, and Detroit would be the home team, and they wouldn't have Aaron Rodgers. As we all know, Aaron Rodgers was put on IR today, guys. As I said yesterday, remember when I said if Tampa loses that game on Sunday or Monday,
we've seen the last of Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers will be on IR, even though they're saying, we're waiting to see what doctors say. No, it was just about that game if they had any chances.
We're waiting to see what the doctors have to say.
About your playoff chances.
Yeah, will Tampa Bay live or die?
Yeah, exactly. So. Angel Nava says 214 we them boys. That's right. Come on. Zeke and Dak.
And guys, let me stop you right here. Let me stop whatever you're doing. Make sure to hit like on the stream if you haven't already, guys, and subscribe. We do post daily content on the Cowboys. We live stream our reaction to every Cowboys game. If you haven't already checked out our reaction from that Raiders game, you're really missing out. One of our probably strangest reactions, just because that whole game was just strange and crazy, and we were yelling and screaming, and then you were yelling and screaming, and I'm sitting there like I don't know what's going on because I didn't know
about the touchback.
It was
nobody
crazy, guys.
Nobody even on the Cowboys team.
Yeah, it took a while for the victory to sink in. So, but guys,
I realized it right away as it happened. I was like, that's it, touchback. Like immediately, I think maybe 5 people in the world knew that moment when it hit because it was obvious right away when it hit that black end zone of Oakland and it bounced right out of bounds. I'm like, game over, we won. At that moment, I knew. I'm like, it was like a snapshot, and that's a memorable moment, guys. I'm glad it was captured on our reaction.
Yes.
But my reaction was just doing like I'm flying away, but my arm going up and down because that's the touchback signal. And I knew that was it. That was a touchback immediately as soon as what happened. Unless his foot was out of bounds, which was not. On the replay, it confirmed it.
Yeah. I know you were Sean Lee. You knew immediately. Sean Lee ran over and he was like, "That's a touchback." You see it on the video,
Heat
guys.
said it too.
So,
Gotta give credit. Heat saved our season in a very strange way. It could have been Anthony Brown. It could have been a lot of other guys. Heath is the one that put the nail in the coffin. So respect to Heath. He's got to continue doing these things and not fall off like he usually does. So let's keep hoping that Heath continues to improve and show nice things.
Level. That's the point,
yes.
Jeff Heath. It's you're slowly but surely making yourself useful on this team, so continue to be useful on this team. Don't just disappear into the nothingness again.
Yes, thank you, Shallow Hal. We appreciate it. We're doing our best. It's hard to do a 20-team league, so in a fantasy league. We'll definitely do one next year. Maybe do a donation pot, like charity one.
Yeah, so for those who, would like to
don't want to donate,
put in money, like as a prize money thing, and for those who, just want to play and have fun and enjoy it, we'll have a team for both, and, also
220
just
team
a
leagues.
general picks, like a team pick. I like that thing that we did earlier this year too, where
a survival league.
The survival league where you had to like pick a team and then make it. I mean, pretty much by the fourth round, everyone was done because it's so hard.
Yeah, no,
so
I agree.
Shallow Hal, thanks for joining us. And Buddy Johnson said, I think Atlanta will lose the last 2 games the way they played.
I think they have the best chance.
I
think they have the. Listen, they played a bad Tampa team. Then they're playing 2 tough teams, no joke teams. And we're talking about New Orleans Saints in New Orleans after Drew Brees really screwed us over.
Well, that's the thing. I really hope Drew Brees just embarrasses Matt Ryan all the way into another loss.
And if that occurs, I think Atlanta at home, which means a little bit, but still, I think Carolina's defense is good enough to suppress them. And I think Carolina wins that. So if that happens, we have to have now focus on Detroit. And they're one game they have to lose. Cincinnati, if it's cold, let's hope there's a blizzard in there or something. Let's hope Matthew Stafford is off.
I will say, I don't know about
and Dalton is on.
New Orleans. I don't know about New Orleans.
New Orleans is indoors, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, true.
It's indoor. So, but the Cincinnati game is where the weather needs to come up and help us and help slow down any Detroit offense.
Yeah.
And that's another game there. If not that game, then in Detroit, in the Dome, without Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers have to beat Detroit Lions, and that would be a shame. Now, there is one way that we and the Detroit Lions could get in, which means we don't have to have the Lions lose, but we'd have to have one of the other 2 teams in the NFC South that we've been talking about lose. So let's say Atlanta loses out, but that means that it can't be Carolina.
Yeah.
So it means the only way we can do is it can't. Here's the way. It can't be Atlanta. The only way we can lose our last 2 games is if Carolina loses the last 2. Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase that. We get in the playoffs like this. We win our last 2 games, and Carolina loses their last 2 games, which would be Tampa and Atlanta. And New Orleans loses the last 2 games, which would be Atlanta and Tampa. So Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that's just very unlikely for, both of those teams to lose both of those last 2 games against those 2 teams. I
agree 100% with you, and that's the thing. That'd be the 1% chance of getting in the playoffs, because honestly, guys, Carolina losing their last 2 games, they play Tampa. That's the problem. Atlanta, maybe they can lose. We hope that if it goes the way we want it to go, Atlanta loses to New Orleans and loses to Carolina. But if Atlanta wins out, they win the division because they beat 2 NFC South teams and surpass both of them. By doing that, that means Carolina and New Orleans, which are 2 teams we can beat in a tiebreaker, fall to us. But if they then win their own games, which is basically Carolina gets Tampa, New Orleans gets Tampa, that's the other game is Tampa. So, unless Tampa gives an upset to both of these teams in this scenario, that's the only chance we would have to get in without Detroit having to, lose one of their games. So in my opinion, it's easier for Detroit to lose one of their games than that happening. And Atlanta losing both games. That to me is the easiest road, is Atlanta losing both, Detroit losing one to either Cincy would be the better one. Hundley can play well though. You never know. Maybe he could pull out a win there. There'd be nothing better Green Bay would love to do and knock out their old rivals. The Detroit Lions. So that would be a very cool ending to the season. We sneak in that way and on to the playoffs and on to Space Cowboy, who's rocking out.
Thank you so much for that $10 super chat. He said, I hate playoff math. I hate all math, especially playoff math, just because, again, it feels like, we're saying when the moon is counterclockwise to Saturn in the 3rd house and the Cowboys lift up the yellow flag, then and only then will they make the playoffs. It just... And again, all of this could have easily been avoided had the Cowboys not messed around earlier in the season, not gotten cute, like Jason Garrett likes to say.
We blew 2 games early, guys.
You say that, this is what the Cowboys need to do, control their own destiny. I think it's long past us controlling our own destiny, because we're not running this train anymore. It's someone else is driving this car, and we have to just hope that they don't kill us.
And that's the thing. It's too late now for us to, to remember loving all those we have a chance, we have this many games. There's no more chances. We have to win out, which is our own fault, in my opinion.
I agree.
you know,
and like you said, we put ourselves in this situation. We asked for it, but it is what it is, guys. Thank you once again to Space Cowboy 17. And guys, if you haven't checked out his channel already, he puts out some great Cowboys content as well. So make sure to go on over there, check it out, give him a like, a subscribe. He's got some good stuff going on over there.
I was gonna say earlier, I know kind of stop. I wasn't able to say it, but I did want to say that I see that Space Cowboys doing a lot more. Like he did a live stream game during the Monday Night Football one. That was really good. And he has a lot of other good material daily, a lot of daily stuff like us, and he just kind of throws it out there real quick. And so definitely sub up, guys. This is Cowboy Nation. We all work together on this. And, we help each other out. And I know he's got some new subs. I'm very happy for you, man. And continue doing your thing. And much love for the donation, man. I'm telling you, most of this goes to help the channel. But we appreciate it going to for our effort as well, our time. It's late here on the East Coast, and it is a late night stream. But we appreciate you late nighters, guys. You guys are blowing it out of the water compared to our early day streamers from yesterday. But yes, either way, guys, we love you all. Thank you for being this. Hopefully, you guys are subscribers. If not, please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit like for the stream. It helps it all grow. Just got over 1,000. It has a lot to do with you guys and helping out with the comments and all your questions and things.
That's right. So, and guys, make sure to stay tuned for our Q&A stream. We might have to postpone it a little bit because of Little G not feeling too well. We do want him to be able to be a part of it. Obviously Little J as well. All four of us. So, we'll definitely keep you guys updated on that as soon as, we can arrange that and get that going. I want to catch up with a few more of some of your other comments here.
For sure. And I hate playoff math too, Space Cowboy, and I promise you, if things can just go our way one week here a little bit. I know we had one good week like that. We won almost every game went our way. If we can get that this week, boy, it'd be nothing better than to kick off that game at home, somehow get lucky with the other 3 games, and it goes our way, and that's the way football can go sometimes. That's why you play the games. And Tampa upsets Carolina, and you have an upset with Detroit at Cincy. These are all 1 o'clock games, the early games, and then you have an upset with not an upset, but you have what's expected with New Orleans beating Atlanta. If those 3 things happen, Cowboys kick off, they control their own destiny, because now all they have to do is win that current game, Seattle game, and win next week against the Philadelphia Eagles. And if those 2 things occur, nothing else matters. So let's hope that first. If that doesn't happen, if we win our game, no matter what, we have a chance the final week in football, in the season. It could be down to 20% or as much as 40%
That's right,
chance
guys.
to get in.
So, and then let me see.
That's it for playoff math. I'm sick of it too.
So are you guys confident they can make a run if they get in?
For sure, yes. If we have a healthy team.
I think you're more confident than I am. I personally think, depending on who we face in the first round, that we just might end up, again, losing in the first round. And that's just me being honest, more because, I have to see how we play with Zeke back as well, because we're playing much better than we were when we did have Zeke.
We also need offensive linemen. We need Tyron Smith back.
Exactly. So it just...
Yeah, there's a lot of outstanding
little
factors.
But if you're telling me, let's just say that with the way things are now, let's say with no Tyron Smith, or even with Tyron Smith, but still maybe a little banged up, I'm still going to say no, just because I think that the other teams we would be facing are going to be healthier. They're going to have, they're going to be a little bit more cohesive than we are. They might not have Zeke, but I think that overall they're more well-balanced than we are. All the teams that, come into my mind as far as teams we could face in the playoffs. So,
I mean, the biggest, it looks like the team that we would probably face would be we know it'd be the 3rd best team, which would be the highest wild card rank. We play, it'd be the 3 versus the 6. And we would be the 6, obviously. The 3 looks like it's going to be the Rams. With their schedule, I think they get Tennessee. I mean, they should have no problem clinching that at least 3rd seed. Minnesota should probably get the 2nd and Eagles the 1st. And that leaves the Saints at the 4th. Probably they got the toughest road to get to any kind of 3rd. So we would play the Rams, the LA Rams, Los Angeles Rams. Now, I personally think that's our best bet. That's our best chance to get to the next round, which would then be the Philadelphia Eagles. But all right, let me digress. The Rams, if we get in the playoffs and sneak in, we probably play the LA Rams if things go on those things as planned. And I think by playing the Rams, they have a young team. I think we have to stop Todd Gurley and frustrate Jared Goff. If we do those 2 things, I think even with the great defense they do have, I think with our offensive line, I think with Zeke, I think that if everybody's healthy, meaning Sean Lee, David Irving, Tyron Smith and the whole offensive line, Lel Collins and everyone. And of course, we have Zeke back on the mission. We got Dak. I think he will attack a lot better. Let's put it that way. With Zeke back there, more confidence, just natural confidence from the whole team. And that's going to, and all in all, Zeke and himself, those extra yards he gives us, even though it was only like about a 25-yard drop-off, which is, we still are averaging over 120 yards a game without Zeke. That's testament to the offensive line. And we were missing guys for 4 out of the 6 games on our offensive line. So still, a testament to the team as a whole, and Dak holding it together, even with bad plays, even with bad passes. So in my opinion, I think that there's a good chance that with all these things rolling our way, that's the only way we get in the playoffs. Even that's the only way we win our last 2 games. Yeah. And if we win our last 2 games and are lucky enough and fortunate enough to sneak into the playoffs, we're a team to reckon with, without question. I think already that the Rams, I think they'd be. I would almost have us as a favorite there, I'm only saying this. I'm not saying a bad thing about the Rams. I think we'd be on a mission. I think our team. I would expect them to win in LA in a stadium that doesn't have really the fan base is there, but I don't know. It's so spread out, the stadium. It's not as loud as maybe I've never heard it get that loud.
Different stadium.
Well, most stadiums are. Some other stadiums are louder. I think ours is one of those that allows it to not be that loud, which sucks. But I think the Rams have a similar stadium like that. So I think that would be a detriment to them. And I think there's also going to be a lot of Cowboy fans out there that come out for that game. There's a lot of Cowboy fans. So it would be nice to hear
them yelling and screaming and cheering us on.
Hey, listen, for their first game ever, an exhibition, Dak's first game ever, an exhibition last year, a preseason game, that was still was filled with a lot of Cowboy fans in the stands. So my point is the Cowboy fans are going to come out. And it's going to be a little bit less of an away game. The Cowboys play well on the road, and it's not like it's not like a Seattle Seahawks home game where it's really trouble, or the Chiefs at Kansas City where it's really trouble. It's not as bad as those places. So my point is that the surrounding environment is not that bad. I mean, the black hole they were throwing stuff at the Cowboy players. Yeah. So the Rams not going to be. We'll be close, but it won't be as bad. It's going to be a lot of Cowboy fans there, and it's also going to be we are a more seasoned team, a more veteran team, believe it or not, than the Rams would be. And I think that we would be able to handle the pressure of the playoffs starting. I think we wouldn't even think about it as playoffs. Playoffs started 3 weeks ago, whenever we started our streak here. Playoffs started back then with the Redskins. So, I think the Cowboys are already in playoff mode. So that's why I think if we get in the playoffs, I think we can beat the Rams. I think we would automatically then play, as being the 6th seed, play the number 1 seed, which would be probably Philly, at Philadelphia. And if the chips fall when they may, we have nothing to lose. And if it gets to that point, I'm telling you guys, you're not going to see a happier Cowboy fan on this earth than sitting right here.
That's right, guys.
Just playing them. I just want to play them. That's all.
I want to catch up with a few more of your comments here. Ancient Brooks says Zeke is going to eat like he hasn't in months. Let me see. A Stronger King says, "Oh, we're not going to feed Zeke. We're going to steal him." So, and then let me see. My boy Roquan Smith from Georgia. As far as draft prospects,
I like that. I like that pick.
So, and then someone here said that we should go offense heavy in the draft. Give me a second while here we go. HM said this next year's draft has to be offense oriented.
So which positions would he say?
So I'm going to assume wide receiver and Tyron Smith's position, just because those are the two that obviously immediately come to mind. Like, we need the most help. So
we go for wide receiver.
Guys.
Yep. I believe we go for wide receiver if we cut Dez and save $12 million on the salary cap. Then I say go receiver if there's a superstar out there as a rookie. Then I think that you also have to look for a veteran in the free agency, a veteran left tackle. If you're going to keep Tyron Smith around, if you feel like he can't get in there consistently, like Chaz Green, and he's going to have these problems continuously, and you don't want to spend the money, the extra $2, $3, $4 million for a veteran left tackle, an older left tackle that can go in there and do the job if need be, when need be, apparently, when it comes to Tyron Smith, spend the money on that, save it for that, and then you got to re-sign Zach Martin, without question. That's gonna be a big hit right there. $15 million, I don't know. But when they restructure it, it'll probably be about 6 or 7 or 8 at most on next year's salary cap. So not a big, huge chunk. You got that. You got to re-sign. Franchise tag probably. Tank. You got to franchise him. He's Pro Bowler now. Got to franchise him. I would franchise him. Prove us one more year of this kind of Pro Bowl style play, and we'll see. David Irving, he's a restricted free agent, so we got to sign him no matter what he's getting paid outside. And I still believe that Anthony Hitchens, who's an Iron Man, missed 4 games out of 70. You know, and he might come back from this one that he looked pretty bad in when he twisted his knee up. He is a Sean B duplicate, so I think we need him in there, and except for the injury, minus the injuries. So I think we need Hitchens, and I think we need to sign him. He's an unrestricted free agent. He's the one we can lose. I just hope that somehow we can keep him. I don't know if we can, but when you look at all these things, you got to start cutting people. Tyrone Crawford gone, Orlando Scandrick bye. And then you got to think about Dez Bryant. If you want to go for a receiver in the draft, cut Dez Bryant. And you go for receiver. Or maybe second round you go receiver and you go Roquan Smith in the first round. Either way, you know, you want to go that route, you got to cut ties sometimes and make some tough decisions, you know. So when you look at that, you look at Tyrone Crawford, you look at Orlando Scandrick, you know, I don't want to say the wrong words, but the goat of the week, you know, Jeff Heath, you know, maybe he has to go too. It depends how much money you save. A lot of things depend on how much, you know, you make up. You know, Bryce Butler, he's a free agent. You know, we have T. Will signed for 3 more years for $4 million a year. So, you know, it comes down to a question of, like, you know, where you want to really cut off or take your losses and where you want to re-sign. I believe we need to re-sign Zach Martin, you know, DeMarcus Lawrence, David Irving, and Anthony Hitchens without question. Those 4 have to be re-signed. The other guys are more expendable, and I think we need to cut Crawford, Scandrick, and maybe Dez if we're going to go drafting with the receivers.
Don't we lose a lot of money, though, if we cut him?
We lose, I think, $4 million difference. So the point is, that if we trade him, that'd be the best thing. But I don't know if anybody's going to take on that $18 million salary cap hit or $16 million. You know, so he might be hit for $16 million. If he goes somewhere else, we won't have to worry about that, I think, or most of it.
Like they cover some of it. We don't pay.
We cover most of it. Yeah, they cover most of it. But that's the thing, though. If we end up having to, cover. You know, like cut him. That means we get $12 million back, as far as that's concerned. On the salary cap, I don't care what Jerry Jones has to pay him or not in real life. Let him get double the money. I don't care. But if it means that we need salary cap room, sometimes you cut players for that reason. And I think those guys would be big names, big reasons on why you would want to cut some of those guys to make room for the big signings you have to get now and for any big free agent moves. If you want to make one for a receiver, Devontae Adams,
Ancient Book says no, you keep Dez, just restructure his contract. And then let me see. Space Cowboy 17 said he's going to go live for some NFL 2K Hive, so make sure to stay tuned for that, guys. And let me see. HM says, no way you cut Dez. I don't know why they didn't go after another wide receiver before signing Terrence. So I'm guessing it's that kind of scenario of better the devil you know than the devil you don't. That they'd rather go with Terrence Williams, a player that they know has been on the team and knows their schemes, over trying to look for someone better to fill that second wide receiver spot. And you know, that along with his great, you know, blocking ability too as a receiver, I think kind of push him over the edge. I mean, the Cowboys, that's what they want, especially because we're a run-heavy team.
Yes, for sure.
We're supposed to be.
Yeah, and
so,
that's what we're built. I don't know,
just all those things together. I'm not too happy with it, though, because I am not a Terrence Williams.
I mean, I like Bryce Butler. I don't like the fact that he's been injured for so long, you know? So that's kind of killing me a little bit, but you know, what can you do? You know, I mean, in the end, guys, you know, we have to kind of roll what we have. And again, I'm really, I don't want to say excited, but I'm anxious to see what the Cowboys are going to do tomorrow as we lead into tomorrow's, you know, probably breaking news. I think Fiance will probably have to go live. I'll try to see if I get a chance to jump out. I can go live as well, where we can do a recap of what we see happening either in the morning or early afternoon as far as Cowboys getting on the field. You know, we need to know what's happening to Tyron Smith. We need to know what's happening to Anthony Hitchens. We need to know what's happening to David Irving and even, you know, I don't want to say Scandrick, but let's throw in. There we go.
All right, so it looks like we're all right, guys.
Sorry about that. If it was a skip.
A minor interruption to our stream here.
Yeah, it looks like our internet just glitched out for a second, so we just lost like 10 seconds or so, guys.
Yeah, but we're all right. So where were we?
Sterling King's an Eagle fan. We see what happens in the future. We have a lot of fans from all over: Patriots fans, Eagle fans, Bronco fans, a whole bunch, Jaguar fans.
Yeah.
So Buddy Justice says, I'd trade Dez Bryant to the New England Patriots. See, that's the thing, that another team would use him properly. And everybody would say, why the heck are we trading him for? You know, that's the thing with Dez. Our coaches are not using him properly, in my opinion. Not enough slot play for him.
I agree.
So, you know, this is something we can't help, though. The coach is going to do this, and Jerry Jones wants to keep them on. What can we do? We either trade him that doesn't fit the system, or the coaching staff, which is a shame. You know, or like you said, restructure his contract, keep him for that reason. But you got to also look for, you know, for the team too. Would you cut him and then, you know, try to?
I think Dez has gotten to the point where he's the type of player that I think he might actually be willing to restructure his contract or try to work out a deal to stay with the Cowboys specifically, or, on the flip side, maybe he's just gotten to the point where he feels so unused and so useless on the Cowboys that he'd rather take his chances with another team and see if he can be, get that superstar feeling with another team. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think. I always thought he'd end up being a Cowboy for life until he retired. I'm going to be real.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I was hopeful he would be. I was hopeful he would get a little better, more elite style, but he's not. He has not been. He drops a lot of balls.
He hasn't quite gotten to that point yet,
I want to see more what he did in the second half of that game. That's what I want to see him do. He did a lot of things, drew interference, made a huge catch at the end of the game, made the other big catch where he broke out for that first down in like 17 or whatever, and he made a nice outside move, and he looked like a young superstar elite receiver.
But, with the whole, kind of chicken and the egg, is it the coaching that, they're not using him right? Or is it Dez that he's just not quite there?
HM agrees that he should be used in a slot more a la Larry Fitzgerald, which is true. Also, Sharon King says that he's a Seahawks fan. First he says he's an Eagles fan. Then he says he's a Seahawks fan. I don't know, man. Make a choice, man.
He just likes birds.
Yeah, I guess. Either way, we don't care. We're going to be both your teams next 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, if we trade anything to New England, then we're idiots. I don't know what to say.
Listen.
Someone's like, watch us trade, or Ancient Brooks said, watch us trade Dez to New England. They still get a top 3 round pick to go along with it.
Listen, if we get a 3rd round pick for Dez, I'd take it.
But what would New England give us?
I wouldn't want an NFC East team.
Why would they want someone like Dez?
They don't really have a big name. They have Cooks, but they don't have a big receiver, like a big, strong receiver. They have Gronk, who's their big target. But Dez would definitely be working great in their system. I guarantee you Belichick would know exactly what to do. But
yeah, beat him until he catches the ball.
And the thing is that if we go a different route and go with a receiver, that would save us a lot of money in the salary cap. We get him cheap, of course, for 3-4 years. Then we have to, we have extra money to go for a free agent left tackle to fill in some other spots we're going to lose in probably in free agency, whether it's a depth at the rush, someone to replace Tyrone Crawford, those kinds of things. So we have to really, got to kind of see who becomes a free agent as things get closer to the end of the season.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a lot of interesting decisions. I do think those 4 guys we named, I'm going to say them again, probably from top to bottom here, but Zach Martin, he's going to be the one we have to re-sign him, hopefully before the end of the season. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen before the end of the season, which is chancy. He can see if he can go somewhere else. Then we have DeMarcus Lawrence, who just got nominated to his first Pro Bowl, guys. Right. And again, Zach Martin is 4th in a row along with Travis Frederick and Tyrone Smith. So congrats to all 4 of those guys making it. Hopefully, we'll see Chris Jones, Sean Lee, and who knows, somebody else pop in there as an alternate, later on. Maybe Zeke. What do you think?
We'll have to see, guys.
It'd be great, guys, because we'll be at the Pro Bowl, so we're gonna say hi to these 4 guys for sure, and anybody else of the Cowboys that show up there. Forget the other. I don't care about NFC, AFC. We just care about the Cowboys.
So, all right, guys, we've been streaming for over an hour here. I want to catch up with you guys here in the chat. Let me see. Aegon Stark, HM, Bobby Johnson, John Wick, Andrew DeCall, Cesar Duarte, Asian Brooks, Stronger King, Brian. Let me see. Jason.
Yeah, a lot of you guys out here, man.
Space Cowboy 17, Goodfella, Jamal Willis, Shallow Hal. Let me see. Bobby Johnson, Simmons Family, Joe Smith.
And guys, I just got to say something right now. When, as you're calling all these names out.
Angel, all you guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Billy Sarducci, I gotta give extra special props right now. Aside from the bottom shout outs, which all you guys have helped in some way, form, or fashion.
That's right.
Building this channel, the first 1,000 subscribers. So much love, much thanks for being here, being one of the special shout out mentions. Everybody else, check each other's pages out. Check their pages. Some of these guys have some good stuff on here. Guys and girls, they have a lot of good stuff on here. So. Check it out. But I gotta give special thanks on our ticker above us here, the weekly super chat leaderboard. Cowboys Abroad has donated so much in the past, and especially on the kickoff of the super chat, and and through Patreon. DJ Crown J, unbelievable amounts. Space Cowboys, Billy Sarducci have also donated. As you can see, today we have a new number 1. Space Cowboy 17 has overtaken number 1 spot over DJ Crown J.
That's right, guys. And if you didn't already know, we are going to be logging off here soon. But Space Cowboy 17 just went live, so make sure to hop over and check out his channel if you haven't already, guys.
Yes, and DJ Crown J, much love. He also donated a lot almost every day. Cowboys Abroad donated multiple times. He's 3rd place right now. Billy Sarducci, who continues to donate almost daily as well. Thank you so much, Billy. We appreciate it. We love that you love the channel and being here with My Cowboys family. family. So thank you. And Cowboys X Factor, who has helped us get a lot of subscribers through his Twitter. He's a fantastic guy. So that's the rundown as it stands. And at the end of the week, guys, remember the winner will get will eventually get a special prize. It's in the way. It's on the way. And also, this will be replaced with whatever advertising of your channel, your page, your business, whatever you want on there for the entire week. Hopefully it pays off for you in subs or advertising, whatever it is that you want. And we'll do that every week. We'll reset it on Christmas Day after the Cowboys hopefully beat the Seahawks, guys, and control their own destiny. What do you say?
That's right,
Hopefully?
guys. I
Maybe?
agree. I agree. Hopefully. So, Ancient Brooks, thank you guys so much for joining us here. Brian,
next
John,
year,
Cesar,
Mr. Wick.
HM, Stronger
Rico will be
King.
back.
All you guys, thank you so much for joining us here. And, guys, never, ever forget.
Ever. Win, lose, or draw, guys, even when it's looking good, when it's looking bad, when it's looking horrible and
When
ugly.
it's looking crazy, weird.
Yeah, but right now it's looking pretty good, and we're in the running, guys. So no matter when and where, however it is,
Always got to say it.
always and forever. Go Cowboys! I said it myself because
Oh, sorry.
she flinched me out.
Oh, sorry, guys.
As you see, she's lost her cowboy stripes.
Yes,
she's
I
wearing
lost
nothing
it.
Cowboys.
Oh my gosh, I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. Oh, all right, guys. Let's try that again. I'm sorry about that, but hey, you know what? Never forget. Go Cowboys!
See, I messed with her. You see that? You like that? you guys stayed in for the end. You guys stayed in front. You guys had a good one. See,
We're
two
keeping
can play
it
this
real.
game.
We're keeping it real, guys.
It's called equality,
Live.
guys. Equality.
Yeah, because I'm gonna equally just. Just kidding, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
And seriously, this time, forever. Now and forever. Go Cowboys! Sorry, guys. That was the funniest one we ever had.
Ending things on a lighthearted note, guys. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
It's already the next day, yeah, guys. Stay safe. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. And look for our breaking news. Hit subscribe if you haven't. If you're new, hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Donate if you'd like. And guys, never forget, yes, go Cowboys. See you all tomorrow. Peace out.